Well, guess you could say we're going to still be defending NL champions here for much longer here. Hi there, it's Brett Hornby here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel here, and follow this in the not surprised that I'm making a video on, but the NLL officially announced that there's not going to be a playoffs in 2020 here. So the Calgary Roughnecks, I guess you could say we still get to keep our NLL title here, as we won the championship last season here. And there won't be a playoffs this season to decide who wins the NLL Cup in 2020 here. I mean, they canceled the rest of the regular season on the global pandemic with COVID-19 or coronavirus here, but they did not totally close the door on the playoffs here, and they thought of maybe they would have some Canadian tournament to still award the inaugural Alternate Bank Cup here, as it was a regular season tournament here that got to dish out between the Canadian teams in the NLL here. However, that's not going to happen here, and on the other hand, I wouldn't think whatever return to play plan that the NLL would have came up with, I don't think the Calgary Roughnecks would have been even allowed to have a right to defend their title, because they were not in a playoff spot when the season was put on pause and ultimately canceled here. And if you look back on season 2 of my Calgary Roughnecks this month videos where I recap the games here, we struggled winning at home, but we did alright on the road here. So we definitely don't think we would have had a right to had a chance to even play in the playoffs here. So now the NLL is focusing on next season here for 2021 here. This is definitely one of those leagues. It's definitely interesting to see how they'll manage to get through this global pandemic here, because I know that unlike the, let's say, the 4 major leagues, where they still can make some revenue when it comes to TV revenue, I know the NFL, I find, is the best off, because they make a profit just when it comes to their TV revenue here, so they don't have to rely as much on ticket revenue. But I know the other major leagues, they definitely need that to supplement their revenue stream. And the NLL definitely is one of those leagues that's definitely very great driven, and I know attendance has definitely grown over the years here. And last couple of years that I got season tickets to Roughnecks here, we still easily get 10 to 12,000 fans at the game for the Calgary Roughnecks here. But it's definitely interesting to know how this league's going to get through it, because I know the Roughnecks, I'd say, definitely are in better shape, because we're also owned by the Calgary Flames here, but there's some other teams in the league that are independently owned here. And now that the season is canceled, and the fact that there's going to be no playoffs here, that's all revenue that's dried up here. The only way you can watch NLL games here, and I know with my season tickets the last couple of years, I was able to get pass on Bleacher Report Live, where I can watch all games on their replay games here. And I know that ultimately what I did with my season tickets to the Roughnecks here is I did happen to ask for a refund just because I needed the money now. My seat will be released for next season here, but I don't think I'm worried about losing it if there is going to be next season and fans will be allowed at the game here. I'm not as worried about them not having a season next season, not about the NLL. I mean, heck, I've been seeing on social media that they're planning on releasing a video game, and they were asking to vote for who do you want on the cover? Curtis Superman Dixon. Yes, please, for the Calgary Roughnecks. Of other templates there, or Dane Dolby, they would look good on the cover of an NLL video game here, or Christian Del Bianco, or I think the players were already pre-selected, and it was Curtis Superman Dixon that was for Calgary. But definitely the league's been growing here, but this is definitely a setback here. And I mean, the only way I would plan to get tickets again, I still do intend to get season tickets again next season, but I need to know where things are at, both personally and where fans will be. But so yeah, I guess you could say we're still defending champions. But not necessarily under the circumstances here, but there won't be playoffs when it comes to the National Lacrosse League. Yeah, here, not surprised, but it is what it is, and didn't hear anything about how they plan to return to play, and I don't know if it would have benefited them as much anyway if they were to play somewhere with no fans just to decide this, but I guess we'll look towards the next season here, and the NLL definitely has time here because the regular season starts in December anyway, and hopefully maybe fans will be somewhat allowed in. Definitely be interested in when it comes to Major League Sports here and how they're going to enforce social distancing when it comes to capacity and, how far can you enforce it? Because, I mean, even if you, let's say, you only allow half the fans in, well, fans still need to move to, consume the concessions or use the bathroom here, and how are you going to enforce that? Or you're definitely going to need more room for the social distancing here, but that's a topic for another time here, but so we're still champions, I guess. I'd rather not under the circumstances here. So like I say here, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, home the Flames hip in Roughnecks and Stampeders, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I mostly do talk sports and Calgary sports on my channel here. But I also do personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and I also share my experiences. Let's say I'm on the road or a sporting event here. I definitely in a video when we raise a much bigger version of this. That is in the saddle and rafters there, so you can see that. So that all sounds like you'd be interested to watch to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey. You know what you need to do. I also have my other social media links down in the description below there. So I'll say in this case, go next go. And I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully, we'll have a season next season and eventually recap games in season 3 there. So I'll see you then.